Hey guys, welcome. Hello, people. So, I was doing a lot of music playing today. So, I should have stopped already because I've been playing music all afternoon. But, I saw real piano and I said, nah, I can't stop because, it's rare that I play real piano. I'm always like playing on a keyboard. So, I was happy to see the piano again, and I said, okay, let me play one more tune. Thank you, Danny. Oh, Daryl. Sorry, Daryl. Doug. Okay, hold on. Let me configure the devices here so we don't miss your comments. Hold on. Gotta configure everything as usual here. And by the way, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and we are now at 3K, over 3K. So finally, that took a while. So thank you for that. I've been only on YouTube for 9 months. I've only been doing this for 9 months on YouTube. To get 3K in 9 months is exciting. And shooting for 6K by December. Shooting for 6K by December, which is at the moment quite reachable. So 6K by December. So by the end of the year, 6K by the end of the year. So I think that's format systems. We are hey Pygmy, hello Pygmy. Why are you not on YouTube, Pygmy? So yes. So we are moving forward here. We have 3,000 plus subscribers. So soon to come, baby boy. What is the earliest age you recommend that I introduce the piano to my baby boy? Usually, to be maintain the interest of a kid. No, they don't normally start till 8, but you can certainly have them. Interested in piano as early as 4. But to be serious, to actually do something, most teachers will not have patience with any kid below 8. So usually 8. So that's the usual standard age group. But there's some unique kids that can start at 4. But that's kind of unusual. So I studied piano at a very late age. I've only been playing piano for later in life. And last night I watched. For those of you who know jazz, I was like amazed at what I saw last night. I watched Chick Corea in concert. I watched Chick Corea, and it was so funny. Every jazz guy I know in town, all the jazz people I play with, they were all at the concert. Like everywhere, every corner I looked. Oh yeah, hey buddy, we'll see you next time. There were so many people I knew, watching Chick Corea, and it was like it was mind-boggling. So that is one of the that's one of the tunes that he did not play last night, but it's one of the tunes in the record that he was playing last night. So, but he didn't play this one last night. The tune I just played, which is Someday My Prince Will Come. Have you heard? No, I do not. Hello, Drought. So, hello, Spirit. Hello. So, okay. So, hello, Paul. Are you following sheet music or improv? Paul, I do not. I'm improvising. There's no sheet music. This provides a backing track. This app gives a backing track like that. See, look. That's it, backing track. I don't even need to look at the changes because I already know it. So, just a backing track. So, just to make me feel like I'm in a combo. So, yes, I did have my adult beverages. I'm thinking of getting a new router for my upcoming network setup. Which one would you recommend? Oops, upside down. That's a router I recommend. So anyway, you'll see this one as a special attachment. It's kind of a new one, and we'll talk about that. Hello, too late for love. Okay, we'll talk about what that's all about. But let me just configure everything first before we get into that. So anyway, that's one of my products. This is Brax Wi-Fi. This is a router. It's a VPN router, Tor router, or standard router. So switching to TubeView. Okay, Pygmy. Yes, abandon Periscope. I don't really care about the numbers on Periscope. It's not. Thank you for those on Periscope. I'm just saying that I'm not. I don't need to get big numbers in Periscope. It's not that important to have numbers. You're all important. Whether you watch me in Periscope or on YouTube, you're all important. I'm just saying that I'm not setting a goal by any number on Periscope, but I am on YouTube. So if you can, just watch on YouTube because I'm more concerned about where that's going. So the YouTube channel is now at 3,000 plus subs, and it grew very fast. It grew very, very fast, and I'm so happy about that. Hello, Drought. Where's the love? You mean the song, or you just complaining that you want me to pay attention to Periscope? Periscope, the platform, not you guys. I'm talking about the platform. Thank you, Cute Colonel. Periscope, the platform, is not really doing anything for me right now. So it's, to be honest, it's in some ways it's just time consuming. It's not productive for what I'm trying to do. So no, I'm not. It just in case, and there's this high probability this can happen, that I drop Periscope. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because most of the growth now in my channel is on YouTube. So there's hardly any growth on the Periscope side. The Periscope crowd changed, and I'm not. I have 30,000 missing followers on Periscope. So where are you, 30,000 followers on Periscope? Where'd you go? Well, I know you all went. You all left Periscope. So that's why it's kind of. It's not a, a lot of people leave Periscope over the years. There's always a new group. And if you're not known to the new group, you got to start all over again on Periscope over and over and over. And I'm just tired of it. I don't want to keep starting over and over every zucking day that I broadcast in Periscope. So I just want to just build. I cannot build on Periscope. I'm building on YouTube, so YouTube is more important to me right now. People who go on YouTube tend not to leave; they tend to stay on the platform. So I feel. Hello, my Magoo. So I feel like hello, Eagle Source. So I feel like I'm growing on YouTube. I'm not reaching any new market on. In fact, my numbers haven't changed at all on Periscope. So for that reason. It is likely that I might drop Periscope. It is likely. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube account because, you may not see me much. I might use Periscope mostly for music. There's still value in having a Periscope for music and such. So I, might leave it for that, but not necessarily for my main content. So anyway, so please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drought, no, it's you can't waste time. Time is money, and if I'm not reaching people in the platform, and it's a problem with Periscope itself. If the people who watch me leave Periscope, then it's kind of like. You spend time to get them there for a short moment and then they leave. So it's kind of like pointless. So it's like a one-shot event, and I don't really need to spend my energy on one-shot events. Sailing and cooking and foolishness on Zuck. Yes, hi Sam. So I'm seriously. So uh, focus on YouTube here, guys. I'm nothing to do with all of you who are such great supporters on Periscope. It's the platform itself. Okay, Pygmy is on YouTube now. So what is Pygmy on YouTube here? I forgot. Uh, Goodness, I gotta remember like every every YouTube name here. Hold on, let me just see if what your name is. Oh, Isaacs. Yes, Isaacs. My newest iOS update screwed up my phone. Well, go back to NordVPN. That'll help. You're forcing me to stalk you online on other platforms. Periscope is convenient for you. Okay, well, Drought, it's you can stay on Periscope, but I may not be on it. Okay, so I'm not telling you to leave Periscope or do anything. I'm just saying I may not be on Periscope all the time. So sometimes I'll be on it, sometimes I'll not be on it. So being honest here. So YouTube people, you leave comments. I respond to every single comment on YouTube, and people watch the videos on YouTube. So what? Anyway, so that's the news. And while I was talking here, somebody didn't like what I said, and I got one person unsubscribed from my YouTube account. So I wonder who that was. So don't unsubscribe, folks. Subscribe. Is it possible to watch it from Brax? Yes, if you're watching from Brax, you're watching YouTube. So yes, the simulcast on Brax.me is YouTube. So yes, and then you can also watch me on Twitch. But I don't comment on that, and even if I broadcast on Periscope in the future, it doesn't mean I'm going to be reading the comments. So just so we're clear here. So I just want to make sure that I'm making these kinds of announcements, because I'm going to tell you that times are changing, folks. I've had so much growth on YouTube the last few months, and the YouTube algorithm is loving me once in a while. It loved me last week. So I got love from the YouTube algorithm, and it gave me a lot of followers last week, and then it died down again. So we'll see. So a lot of people from YouTube are on Brax now, Drought. So YouTube has been bringing in people to Brax from YouTube, which is why YouTube is extra important, because they're actually giving me a market. It's the truth. ABC News said. Anyway, Tony's always distracting us, just like Tony's like another kelp. It's Tony and Kelp, the two of them, will be distracting me with side comments all night. So, well, Drought, Brax is still there, and everything is happy and healthy, and new people are coming in from YouTube. In case you don't know what we're talking about, I have an app, folks. It's not called Periscope. It's not called Facebook. It's called Brax.me. Brax.me. The Brax.me platform is a privacy-based platform. Allows you to talk to other people on Brax in a pseudo-anonymous way. So you don't have to identify yourself. You can. You don't have to. You have the choice to be identified or not, and your stuff doesn't show up on Google. And it's and a lot of people are showing up because of my YouTube videos. So they're coming in. I don't need to do any kind of promotion to come in. I don't make money from Brax.me. So some of you are like thinking, oh, he's trying to get to go to the app. No, the app doesn't make me money at all. So I don't really care if you go there or not. It doesn't make me money. It doesn't make me lose money. It's just my platform. It's safe. No one's ever been hacked in it, and there's no censoring of any sort. So it's free enterprise. So there you go. So that's the platform that I have. So you have a choice. You hang out on YouTube, and then if you want to talk to me more privately because you don't want to leave comments on YouTube, then go talk to us, not just to me, but many, many people on Brax.me. So anyway, there are 2 new videos on Brax, and we're going to talk about it a little bit tonight because it's one of the more distressing videos I had to make. And of course, it's not popular. So it's really crazy. You know, this is one of the most important things I've done as a video on Brax, a 2-part video. It's about the 4 back doors to your phone. And in 2 videos, it didn't fit into 1 video because it's kind of long. It's very, very detailed. And so 2 new videos on the back doors to your phone. And it's on YouTube. It's not popular. The algorithm says, boring. We'll give it a rating just like your other videos. So it's kind of like I did a video on MAC address by Facebook and how Facebook can use your router and MAC address to identify you all over, everywhere you go. They'll be able to identify that it's you when every time you go to Walmart and all of that, just because of the way they track MAC addresses. And that's another super important video. And does that get any views? No, I don't think it even has 1,000 views. Maybe it just reached 1,000, but barely. Some of these videos, you know, are equally good and as entertaining as anything I have on there, and people are just not interested. So there you go. So just because you don't look at my videos and say this one has a lot of views, this must be better content than the other one that does not have a lot of views. That is not the case. That is not the case. The more obscure the topic is, the more valuable it is. One of the more important topics on my videos is email. I have several videos in email, at least 4. No one watches them. They'd rather have me talk about phones. Nobody's talking about the email problem. And everyone comes in here and saying, yeah, we'll use the Proton Mail. We're going to be happy with Proton Mails. Like, suck. Okay? So I'm telling you right now that if you understand some of the topics I'm talking about and you pick out, you know, some of these, there's so much. And people are like watching some of my like intro videos, like, you know, surveillance on a phone, phones, how to have a phone without surveillance. And they're saying, what kind of tips do you have? Well, there's a ton of them, a ton of tips. One of the main tips I advise for you for cybersecurity is get a Brax Wi-Fi router. Okay, now let me just talk about this for a moment, because this is one of the solutions. This actually got changed because I wanted to battle that Facebook problem of the MAC address, and this one actually handles that. So let me explain what this is. So this is a router. This is called a Brax Wi-Fi router, and it's just a normal router normally, but this actually is a VPN router or a Tor router or a standard router. You can configure it to run just like your normal router, or you can configure it to be a Tor router so that you have super security, or you can have it as a VPN router. Now, why is that important? Your router actually is used by Facebook to identify everyone on your network. So if you watch my video on MAC addresses, this is what happens when you do not have this router. Let's say you have, you know, your typical you know, Asus or Apple Extreme or you know, Linksys or whatever brand router you happen to have. What is actually going to happen with that router? Well, one of the things that router is going to do is it's not encrypted, right? So all of you are on there in the same network, and you're all connected on the network by MAC address. That's how you connect to each other on a LAN, by MAC address. Well, Facebook decided to use that information. So what they do now is, if you connect to a LAN, so all of you in a house, and you have a guest that comes in, like your family member, like my sister. So my sister comes to my house, and she said, "Can I borrow your Wi-Fi?" And she connects to my Wi-Fi, and then the first thing she does when she connects to my Wi-Fi is, let me go look and see what's happening on Facebook. And if you have a grandma, the grandmas who love Facebook, they're going to go borrow your zucking Wi-Fi, and they're going to zuck you up in a big way. What happens now is the Facebook app looks at that network inside the router, looks at every MAC address, which is the serial number of your device, and stores it. And then they now said, oh, the following MAC addresses are related. They're all connected. The next thing that Facebook will do then is say, what is the router MAC address? What is your router's MAC address? And your Linksys, it'll find the MAC address of your Linksys. And then it's going to say, oh, we have a special trick here at Facebook, just like Google and Apple does. And our special trick is, if we know the MAC address of your router, we can find out your exact location. That's nothing to do with owning Apple products, hi Sam. So if you have a router, Facebook will find out what the MAC address is of your router and say that the following MAC addresses here are in this exact location within 6 zucking feet. So how do we stop that? Well, this router obfuscates the MAC address. So this gives a fake MAC address, A. So this is the only router that gives you a fake MAC address. All routers do not give you a fake MAC address. This does. Okay? When you use this router, you're sharing the same MAC address with many, many people. So your location will be like mixed in. This is 149. So the router here can be used with a VPN. Should be used with a VPN. So if you have a VPN subscription with my VPN, Bytes VPN, you can use it with this, and then or you can use it as a Tor router, which is free. So if you just want to use it as a Tor router, it'll provide a secondary router in your network, and also as a standard router. Now, the thing is, if your guests share this network and they're using the VPN router, Facebook isn't going to get any information. Facebook isn't getting any information. First of all, the VPN obscures your traffic. Second, the obfuscated MAC address prevents Facebook from finding your location and all those related next to you. So this is a much more robust solution than just saying just have a VPN. So this is why I recommend this. Now, back in the day, it wouldn't be so important, but nowadays, because of the Facebook attack, you're kind of left with no choice. So some of you need extra range with this. So you want to range. So some of you will pay, the $200-300 for the big routers because they have a bigger range. Well, now, if you want, this is now optional on this router. You can get this. This is $35 from Amazon. If you want to expand the range, if you don't need to, you don't need to. This will work by itself. But if you want to expand the range of your Brax Wi-Fi router, there's new software now that is available on the next version, and all you do is plug this in and reboot, and suddenly you're going to have up to 15 to 20 dB improvement in the signal. So, and this is 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. So it increases the range because it has these two antennas just like a normal router. So this is an option if you feel like you need to go to a bigger range to reach further into your house. This is now an option starting next week. Okay, this is already working. So I'm going to be releasing it next week, so it'll be available next week. So if you have a 3B plus, it will automatically get updated. So this is optional. If you say, well, I haven't been liking the range of the existing one, can you improve the range? Yeah, sure. Uplink speed has nothing to do with the Wi-Fi. That's up to your VPN. This is a gigabit gigabit Ethernet. So the speed is dependent on your network. It's as fast as any router. In my case, on my Wi-Fi, I get 100 megabits on a VPN, which is very fast. Okay, so where you can buy the router from my store, rob.brax.me. So I have a store, rob.brax.me. This has been selling pretty well in the last couple of weeks. So we have sometimes we run out of stock of these. So sometimes it does run out of stock. Some of you will get like a day delay as we get more stock. But so this is available on the store. And then a week from now, we're going to be releasing the alarm. This alarm here, which is not plugged in. So this will be, let me just power that up. This is a radar alarm. It's going to be available next week. Also on the rob.brax.me store. And this is the HD camera. The HD camera for outside. With the power over Ethernet, HD wide angle, motion sensing, and unhackable. I shouldn't say that you're going to hack anything, but very resistant to hacking because it's made by a cybersecurity expert and it's not connected to the internet. It cannot be controlled from the internet. So that's like Eagle Source saw the first version of this, and look how nice it is now. It's quite small, actually. My phone is bigger. In case you're wondering what the size is, my phone is taller. Yeah. So if that gives you any indication of height. Okay, the phone is taller. Okay. So this is also on the store. This will be available at the end of next week. Okay. What items can work traveling in a motorhome? This is an awesome system for security because look at this. This is a security based on radar, and it's basically a 360-degree thing on here, detection. And in order to turn on the alarm, it's so simple. Press the button.
Alarm sequence initiated now.
And it talks to you just like an echo. It doesn't record your voice, though. And then watch that light, and that'll turn on. And then it will give you a security ring of around 12 feet all around, so about 24 feet diameter. And so anybody that crosses that 24-foot line will set the alarm. If you use a Tor browser or VPN, all that doesn't hide your MAC address. No, that has nothing to do with MAC address. Too late for love. MAC address is local LAN. So no, no. It doesn't do that. I want one machine like a ThinkPad with core boot. Okay, watch this. So the alarm is now red. It turned red. You see the light? So if I move, the alarm is going to go, That will then send a notification to your phone. Okay, so anyway, that are these security products that are meant to give you safe versions of them, and the one that's not safe. And I'm going to repeat this in every broadcast. I'm going to make sure you always remember this. It not glass. It doesn't go through glass or metal. It goes through wood, though. The radar will pick motion in wood, but if you want to pick motion behind the glass, put it outside. Put it outside. So it can even run on a battery. What really stops it from using a battery? It's using Wi-Fi, and it can run on battery. I have a portable USB that you can use with it, for example. So you can use that. So you can put it in your garage, and you can track anyone approaching from the outside. It doesn't go through metal. This one will be available, including the camera, at the end of next week. So approximately mid-month in October, because it's really for Christmas. This one is available now. You can buy Brax Wi-Fi's all day. You can buy this tonight. This is available. Okay? Jason. Hello, Jason, my friend. How are you doing, Jason? I'm kind of like, little. I just did a little bit of rant, anti Periscope rant just a second ago. So I'm kind of losing patience with Periscope. So I want a product so I can detect when drugs are delivered to my mailbox. You need a security camera. Doing fine, Jason. Doing fine, but I'm just talking about the fact that I'm focusing on. Hello, Subaru Gal. Focusing on YouTube now. So again, thank you for your support. My channel on YouTube is growing very fast, and I think it's going to happen. Planning on 6K subscribers by, what is so annoying, Mr. Thompson? Okay, 6K subscribers by December, by the end of the year. Why do you like Zuck's reply to Warren? Okay, Subaru Gal, how are you doing, my friend? Miss M. Thompson, why don't you go have fun someplace else? Okay, so again, back to the topic of phones, and whether I like it or not, phones are a big deal. Phones are a big deal, and most of my growth in the channel on YouTube is because I talk about phones. If I talk about Facebook, nobody watches. So if Kelp wants me to talk about Facebook, no one's going to watch my program. So I'm kind of stuck. I got to talk about phones because that's what people want. Okay, so it's the truth. I'm going to deal with the fact that we are also dependent on these stupid devices now, and we actually some of you are like just in love with these. Even Great Gold, who's so big with security, he admitted to me that he's attached to these suckers, and to me it's this has turned into a big negative. So let me just talk a little bit about my videos first that I release about this, and then we'll kind of talk more in a big picture about all of this. In my video, I talked about 2 videos. I talked about the 4 back doors to the phone, 4 back doors. Now, this is really a Kelp kind of topic. The Kelp kind of topic is that the 4 back doors to the phone happen to be all from the government, a government, many governments. So all of the 4 hacks to the phone are all tied to government. Are you watching on YouTube too, Subaru Gal? Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. So that is to me, it's a shocking piece of information that I just gave you, that as far as direct access to your phone, it is all about government having access to every single phone. Okay? And if that doesn't bug you, I mean, Kelp loves that. He says, "Oh my, I'm so happy to hear, Kelp's so happy to hear that the government can access each and everyone's phone." Are you happy to hear? Are you happy to hear that your phones are all subject to government control? Are you happy with that? Kelp is like clapping his hands. It's like saying, "Wow, this is awesome. Every phone has a back door. This is fantastic." So Kelp says that. Now, if you like that kind of news, I'm telling you right now that yes, there are 4 back doors, and they're very serious back doors. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no solution to any of them. None. Want to make that clear. 4 backdoors to this phone, all government, not standard hackers, all government from any country. I'm not talking U.S. government here. If you're in China, it'll be the Chinese government. If you're in Saudi Arabia with Randy Horton, it's Saudi Arabian government. If you're in Ethiopia, it'd be the Ethiopian government. They don't have a government, but whatever. If you're in the UK, the UK. Okay? Or the UK. So, so much information available to them here. And if they ever interview you and say, okay, you're going through this is one of the reasons I don't feel like traveling overseas is I don't want to get stopped at the border because they're going to say, well, can we look at your phone? I'm going to say, yeah, go look at it. I don't have anything on my phone. Yes, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have anything on my phone. My phone has extremely small amounts of information on purpose. On purpose. I don't have much on this. I don't care if you reset this. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm not going to care. I lose an app. Who cares? What apps do I have? Not much. Would you like to look at my Twitter account? Welcome to it. Would you like to look at my YouTube account? Everything is public anyway. You're welcome to it. Other than that, nothing is important on this phone. Maybe the contact list. Yeah, the SIM card. That's the contact list. Other than that, nothing is important on this phone. I'm a big believer in not putting much in here. Some of you say, no, my phone has to be like super secure because I'm one of these movie stars and I take my nude selfies and I put it on the Zucking phone. I'm a movie star. I put my nude selfies here. Then I'm gonna share it to my partner or whatever, my date, with my nudie selfies in here. And I want a secure phone because I don't want anybody to grab my phone and see stuff. They actually have to be, they're encrypted. Okay? So you don't care about ship date on any Librem phone, Scalp? Why would you even ask that? You don't really care about it. So anyway, these phones, I'm trying to build a habit of using it less and less. It's hard. I'm going to tell you, it is hard because it's convenient, it's small, and to be honest with you, 90% of my use of a phone right now is Kindle. It's nicer than a tablet, smaller, and I can read books on it. And that's probably most of what I do on it is read books. I don't even answer my phone. If you know my phone number, I'm not going to answer my phone. Oh, come on, Kelp. Is that really true? You're going to say, well, let me look at the negatives. You said some positive things about Edward Snowden, so I'm going to look up all the negative things that have been said about Snowden, and I'm going to focus on that. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I always answer my phone. Well, there's other kinds of phones, Subaru Gal, just not these kinds. These are spy phones. Spy phones. So, you want a spy phone? Yeah, you can have this. I already read the book, Levendi, and to be honest, the latter part of it got kind of boring. If you read the book, if you watched the movie, then I was expecting something new. And let me just tell you something about, let me tell you some important details about the book and the Snowden book and how it kind of connects to what we're talking about here. Snowden, in the book, said very clearly that there's this program, and he specifically named it X-Keyscore. And what X-Keyscore does, and this is really, you're deleting yourself, Twitty? Okay, let's talk about X-Keyscore from the NSA, based on what Snowden visually saw, because he actually had somebody demo him X-Keyscore. That was in the book. It wasn't like in the movie. The movie made it seem like it happened elsewhere, but in the book he basically implied that it happened in Fort Meade itself. Anyway, what is in X-Keyscore is you can look up anyone. Let's say you want to look at Too Late for Love. Okay, so Too Late for Love. Or maybe Kelp. Now let's pick on Kelp here. We got to be consistent. So we'll pick on kelp. Okay, so kelp. So they said, okay, we'll find out information about kelp. So how do we find out information about kelp? Easy. And I've told you this. There's an index for everything, so they can index you. This is according to Snowden now. Something I've already talked to you and told you can be done, and Snowden just confirmed it for us. Because I know the technology, I understand they're going to do this, and they did. And this is, in fact, I just discovered that my guess was accurate. They indexed your information by IP address, by your phone number, and by your email. And, of course, your full name and address. So all of those. Email, full name, address, telephone number, IP address, email address. And all of that is now all indexed to you. So if they want to look for you, they'll find you based on some of these criteria where the exact match will come from IP address, email address, and a phone number. So there's three: IP address, email address, phone number. So if they actually want to search kelp, they'll say, okay, what do we know about kelp? Well, we found somebody named Kelp running around Periscope with this IP address. So they can easily find that out because, again, this is confirmed once again by Snowden that all of the traffic that goes on the internet goes to AT&T. AT&T sucks all the data out of the internet and then sends it to the humongous server farm in Utah at the Utah data center. Now, the humongous data server farm at Utah data center is so large that, according to Snowden, it can keep every piece of data in the sucking internet forever. It has that much space. They're like miles and miles of servers. Miles and miles of servers. The facility itself costs $4 billion. Now, this is something that, if you didn't know this, I'm going to let you know that they're building 3 more data centers. This is the NSA. This does not include the CIA. NSA only. They're building 3 more data centers. So whatever's in Utah, it's going to be 4 times as large. Utah is number 1. By the time it's done, there will be 4 of them. Everything that goes on in the world will be in 4. By the way, there was an article in a Bruce Schneier blog where there was some article by somebody from the NSA, and they actually made a speech. This guy who works for the NSA made a speech, and the guy's speech said, "We want more. That if we don't expand, we're going to have a disaster. So we need more. The $60 billion that we use for intelligence is not enough. We need more money. $60 billion, not enough. $60 billion for spying on each and every American citizen, not enough. We got to have more." Okay, well, they have the more, just so you understand. So all of your activity goes into everything that happens to your IP address. So all they have to do is say, what is the IP address of kelp? So now they know that, and they just go and say, let me play back all of what kelp did. And this is from the Snowden book. Let me play back what kelp did on October 4. Oh, kelp was on Periscope. I can see all of his comments on Periscope, so they can actually see exactly what he's typing here, right here. Whatever kelp is putting in here is showing up on a replay of the internet based on X key score. So just make sure you understand that, because, kelp loves that. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. They can replay your internet. Okay, what porn did you actually watch, Doug? Well, they can replay that. So they know exactly what it is that you looked at. Replay. Internet replay. Zuck. Okay, and now you ask me why you should have a VPN router and a Tor router and VPN. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Thank you so much, Twitty. Thank you so much. You're telling me why you don't want these? Do you really want a play-by-play? Well, they can't do play-by-play on Tor. Guys, Snowden used Tor. Snowden used a Tor. He built himself one. He built his own Tor router and Tor server. He has a Tor server and Tor router. He built one himself, just like me. And he built one for himself because he said, I can't have them spy on me. So he built one to prevent the NSA from spying on him. So I'm telling you right now, we're on the right track here, confirmed by Snowden himself. So whether or not you like Snowden doesn't have any relevance here. The only thing is that we know what they can watch about us, and we want to make sure that they cannot watch it. So encryption is not something that they can deal with directly. They're going to play tricks to get around it, but it's going to be hard. So yes, these are actual solutions. So this prevents all that. Okay, so in my house, we're all he also disconnected the camera and mic. Yeah, well, sure. Doug, he doesn't use a phone, not in Russia. He has no phone. Okay, so I can't believe Kelp and Tony are arguing. That's interesting right there. That in itself is interesting. Tony argued with Kelp about NordVPN. So anyway, these are real solutions. The problem is when you're dealing with phones, people, it's a completely different animal. So the fact that the phone can be accessed with a back door is very distressing. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the video and what the implications are. So basically, somebody could turn this on at any time, and you may not notice it. That's why I always look at the phone to see if it goes on a call, because this can be made to call someone, and then without your knowledge, it's actually calling, and then the microphone is on, and then they can listen into your conversation. They can do that. They can read your text. There's so many ways. They can do it by SS7 SIM jacker, by SIM jacking, and then by Stingray. They can actually do, they don't even, in theory, they don't. The NSA does not use warrants, so they can just do it at will. The FBI requires a warrant. Your phone has been quiet since I updated. Well, this iOS 13 is so buggy. It's like, this iOS 13, the number one screw up in all of my apps is cut and paste. It is so difficult now to cut and zucking paste. I can't do select all. I can't copy paste. It takes me so much time. I got to retype everything here on Periscope because they screwed up with zucking, cut and paste. So that's iOS 13. It's zucked up. So anyway, you love the spying on the phone, Doug? You love the spying on the phone? I haven't updated yet. Oh, Twitter, you're so lucky. Why did I zucking update? I've been able to silence unknown callers using T-Mobile. I don't need any other thing. T-Mobile, T-Mobile has automatically blocked a lot of those already, so I didn't really need to see it. So anyway, this is so accessible to the government that this is the number one way that the government will track you. And so one of the things that is very, very interesting about the new phone, the new Linux phone, the Librem 5, which I don't know when I'm going to get that. It's the phones. The phone has been released to some few. So some few have gotten the phone. The bulk of us don't have it. And I'm really excited to have it because one of the things I can do is to turn off the switch to the cell portion. All of these backdoors that I just mentioned to you, every single one of the 4 backdoors that I mentioned in my videos, all the backdoors are tied to the cell baseband modem. On the Librem 5, there's a switch. On the Librem 5, you switch off the baseband modem and then just use Wi-Fi. 4 backdoors. It's in my video. All government backdoors. So for those of you that didn't watch the video, let me just tease you so you watch the video. Number one hack is called SimJacker. SimJacker attacks your phone by sending silent texts that you don't know that you're being texted because it's silent. They can issue commands to the phone and basically take over the phone. They can take over the phone without you knowing because the commands are silent texts. So it's sent to the phone. Your phone does not. No, I am not gaining weight, for goodness sake. Do I look like I'm sucking weight? Okay, so silent text on the phone, and then they can control the phone, turn it on, look at your text, send text, make a call, receive a call. They can do all that through silent text commands. And your phone actually has a little website. You send a silent text, it responds back just like a website. Okay, so that's silent phone. Next, the next part of the phone that has a hack is called SS7. Now, this is an attack on the cell network. So anyone, especially governments, have access to the SS7 program that can hack any zucking phone. So it's on the network. So what can you do on the network? You can say, it's not Doug's phone, it's me. I'm Doug. So if the government wanted to hack Doug, they just go on the network and say, I'm Doug. They can just claim to be Doug. They just say, okay, I'm this IMSI, IMSI. That's your identity on the phone network. That's me. So send all the emails to me, all the data to me, all of the text messages and all the calls routed to me because I am Doug. Okay? So that is how that works. That's SS7 is done at the network side. And who has access to this? Well, anyone who works at the carrier can do this. And they could be, any government can demand the software for SS7. They say, cell company, do you want a license to operate in Russia here? Mr. Cell phone company, do you want to operate in Russia? Well, Putin demands that you give us the SS7 program. And of course, you'll say, of course, sir, here's the SS7 program. Now, here's one thing about SS7 that I want you to understand. So SS7 is a hack that can actually take over the phone from the network without even touching your phone. This is the part that nobody ever realizes. They can attack any phone simply by knowing the phone number. They can attack any phone even if it's not in the same country. Because this protocol is the communication line of every phone network. It's how they route calls from place to place. So if you want to make an international call, everything is handled by SS7. So if the Russian government has access to SS7, did you just not hear this or see this in the press that Giuliani was texting Volker? And they were texting each other just like Hillary was doing emails and somebody in the Trump administration was texting everyone. It's like you people are so zucked up. Government secrets being spread around by texting, which can be intercepted with SS7 by every zucking country. Zuck. If I want to listen in, I just need Giuliani's phone number. If you have a list of phone numbers, you can go tap into their data. It's like zucked up. This is just the craziness, and I'm talking to you about a backdoor known by the government. A backdoor is known by the government. And the other part of government doesn't know that it exists. It's like, I do not understand this at all. I truly do not understand it. So, just like saying, and I told you this in many, many videos, explaining how non-secure email is, and yet, the State Department communicates by email, and then individual people in government communicates by text. This is just incredible, and it's like everyone's living in the dark ages in their mind. They have no idea that time has moved. That hello, Michelle. Time has moved, and technology has changed, and people are thinking that these are safe devices, so that people in government will use this to communicate. So you could be working in the White House, and you're going to be texting like crazy, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with your OPSEC? I already had my drink, Michelle. Did you have your drink? I had a martini. What'd you have? I had a martini. Oh God! Look at it's like everything to explain everything. Oh, the cost of society. It's like you're having it now. I wish I had one now, but I'm busy doing a broadcast. So I did look at Kelp. His attitude is, oh, this is modern society. We should expect this. Modern society expects us to be spied on, so we're going to be spied on. And I had Grey Goose. Yes, my martini was with Grey Goose. Yeah, courtesy of Ron Waxman. Courtesy of Ron Waxman. So and Kelp said, yeah, this is modern society. We need to accept this. So, yes, so there you go. So just to show you that the spying on the phone is so extreme, and yet the people in the government don't even realize that they themselves, the deep state, can track everything that they do. So anyone in deep state can, in theory, blackmail anyone else in government, because they can listen into the phone conversations and track them and say, well, we track every government employee. We want to track every government employee. It doesn't matter that you work for the administration or not. We want to track you, and they can. And to think that they don't actually understand. They don't understand the kind of data that's being captured about them. It's shocking to me. Shocking to me. So anyway, so these devices are tracking you primarily through the cell baseband. So what's the solution? Turn off the sucking switch. Put this in a Faraday bag. Faraday bags will, of course, work, but then you can't use the phone. That's why I like the option of using a Librem 5 when that is shipped to me. Am I going to have to wait till March for that to be shipped to me? Maybe I'll be lucky. I'll get it before Christmas. But if I get a Librem 5, Librem 5 is huge. It's thick. It's double the thickness of this. Librem 5 is very thick. But you know what? I don't care, because I can turn off the baseband. Then I can just use the Wi-Fi. So with Wi-Fi, I can use it for everyday use. And then if I'm going to sleep, turn off the Wi-Fi. Then no one tracks me in my location. So don't give us any fake news, Kelp. This is not the fake news section. If you want fake news, go on Waxman Scope. So no fake news here. So the first batch started shipping. Who knows how many they shipped in the first batch, and they're still shipping it. And I'm not likely to be in that batch. A person I follow on Instagram a family online camera was bought on Amazon. Michelle. A person I follow should follow. I don't understand the question, Michelle. Do not ever buy a Ring camera from Amazon. Do not ever buy a Ring camera. So we're being surveilled, Michelle. Yes, buy mine. We are being surveilled now on this, and we are being surveilled on Alexa Echo, and now we're going to be surveilled by Ring because some of you believe, like Kel probably wants to put a Ring in his house. Okay, thank you, Michelle. This will be available next week. You can start ordering this soon. In a week, you can start ordering this in a week. We may not be able to build as fast as you can order, so there may be a short delay from the time you order to the time we actually ship. So we are trying to make them as fast as we can. If you can hear the 3D printer in the background. Thank you, Michelle. You don't tell me on Brax. Tell me that on Brax so I understand what you're saying. So let's talk about Ring for a second, just to show you. When is the radar box coming? The radar box is right here. Radar box is completely done. So this we have a lot more of. I have less of the cameras. I think we have around 50 of these already. So I think we have around 50 of these. And less of these. So this is more time consuming to make. How much did I ask already? Not sure. This is $249. This is a full computer with full flash storage, with power over Ethernet, weatherproof housing. Radar is $129. The radar is $129. Without this is $149. If you want to buy this from Amazon, I don't sell this. You can buy this from Amazon. This is $35. You can add it on anytime you want. So if you want more range, you say, I want more range. I want it to be as powerful as my other Wi-Fi. No problem. Get this. Plug it in. Done. Reboot it. You're all set. The software takes care of it automatically. So it's I just updated the software to do that. Camera's $249. Can you adjust the sensitivity of the radar? It's already at max. The radar is already at 4 meters radius. So 4 meters in every direction. So if you cross the 4 meter boundary, then the alarm goes off. So you can put it in the center of a room, and if it's a central walking area, like let's say a thief will have to walk through this hallway or certain area to get to the bedroom, then the alarm will trigger. So then you put cameras outside to capture their face, and don't put a camera indoors. Do not put a camera indoors. I got a predicament. Zuck will be right up your butt. You predicament? You mean a prediction? Well, we're gonna have to censor that comment because that comment is censored. That's why you lock and load. Michelle, I thought you don't believe in lock and load. I thought that was against your values to do the lock and load. Yep. I'm always ready to lock and load. So, yep. You can direct the radar with glass or metal. You can direct the radar here with aluminum foil. So if you want to increase it in one direction or the other, just make sure that the metal kind of gives it a direction. So if you want a longer range in one direction, like a long hallway, you can put metal like foil on even on the outside of the box and do so. Or you can open up the box. Well, you're probably going to affect the wiring if you open up the box. So you probably can't do that. But if you have like some sort of sticky foil material, you can do it. Lock and load, is that legal to say in California these days? Well, why don't you go ask Diane Feinstein? You know, she a big gun control person, but she carries. I'm big into gun control, but I carry because I don't want you to be able to defend yourself, but I certainly want a gun myself. And I carry, even though very few people in California can ever carry. Oh, you mean Senator Feinstein, only you have the right to defend yourself? Apparently so. So, yes, I can't walk outside and carry. That's not allowed, but Dianne Feinstein can carry. Attach a shotgun to the radar box to shoot anything that moves. I look at my those are not look at my Twitter pictures. Those are not mine. Look at my Twitter pictures. Those are not mine. You're gonna have to explain that, Michelle. But I don't really talk on Michelle. If I go to the border and somebody at the border says, "Let me look at your phone and see your social media," they're gonna have access to my Twitter and all that. I'm gonna show them and say, "Yeah, look at all the conversations in here," because I don't talk on Twitter. You should all know that I do not talk on Twitter, not privately, and neither do I. Any conversation on YouTube is out in the open, so there are no mysteries. Everything is public. So I have very limited presence in all of those platforms. Just FYI. So I can only talk in one place. There you go, Michelle. So I can only talk in one place. If you do not talk to me in that one place, then yes, you said pictures. So if you do not talk to me on Brackside Me, then I can't talk. Okay, and if somebody says, "Well, I want to see what you're talking about on Brackside Me," well, sorry, encrypted, deleted, never to be seen again, since you can't break the encryption anyway. So there you go. So all conversations on Brax.me. So if you're going to say, "You said this," really? I said that? If you have security guards, you won't have to carry. Yes, Mad Cow. That's correct. Zuck that double standards spirit. Attach. Okay. So anyway, back to what we're saying. So just so you again understand what X Key Score does, and I don't know why anyone would want to be part of X Key Score. That somebody can look you up by IP address and say, "Let me play back your internet session." So, for example, Michelle, somebody from the government can say, "Let me play back everything that Michelle did on Periscope." They can't even go in if not invited. Nobody can see any conversations on Brax.me unless you're part of the conversation. So if you're in one of the open areas, then of course the discussion's open. But if you talk privately with somebody, then the conversation is private. So when you go to the internet and you do not use these kinds of devices, what is the effect? The effect is X Key Score playback. So they'll say, "Okay, Michelle, I hear you've been doing all this anti-Trump talk lately. Let me play back what you said." So they now play back all of your sessions on Periscope and all that, and play back on the internet, and they can see everything that you're typing right here. Before you learn from me, Michelle. So you can see the problem here, guys. Do you want that? Well, Snowden confirmed that having a Tor router, he even built his own Tor router. The Tor routers are the solution. Okay, I love this. And I'm glad that I'm making this better and better every time. And now with this new version, Michelle, you have an old version. This is the new version. This is a much faster one. So this is thank you, Michelle. So this is a faster one. This is the faster version. Plus, you have the option for more range. So this is for more range. This is already faster by itself. This is just to add range. So this is a new version. So let me talk about Ring, just to show you the Ring problem. Okay, so the Amazon is promoting Ring with law enforcement. Kelp's buddies. So will that antenna work with my VPN router? No, you have to have a 3B+. 3B+. The software is not compatible with 3B. Mecha's Queen from New Jersey. Mecca's Queen from New Jersey. Okay, yeah, 3B plus. It's not compatible with the old one. So I'm sorry, I can't update it for the old one. It just already took a while to program it for this. Okay. So anyway, I still have my old one's fine, Doug. Rob has my demographics down. Yes, yes, Mecca's Queen. Do we need to announce your name again? Yes, Michelle. There's nothing wrong with it, Doug. It does the job. What you have, especially since you're alone, nobody else has to reach it within range. Doug, you don't need anything more. I'm just some people have a bigger family and such, and so this would be more of a requirement. So the crap will take a long time to come to Van. What? I know another spooky thing to think about for Halloween. Hard drives don't really delete things most of the time. The data is easy to retrieve. Mad Cow, yeah, that's funny. That was actually in the Snowden book, but that's pretty obvious. Everyone in tech knows that. Yeah, so yeah, that was in the Snowden book, kind of like a beginner kind of comments. Like, did you know that when you delete in a hard drive, it doesn't actually delete? Well, yeah, I mean, that's old news. But there's worse news for you. Did you know that you cannot delete data from a flash drive? If you're using a flash drive like SSD, you are zucked. You cannot use bleach, blit, or anything. The only way to remove your data from a flash drive is to use a sucking hammer. You actually saw today's stick figure outfits, but I don't celebrate Halloween. So the only way to delete data from a flash drive, the expensive flash drive, is to hit the sucking hammer. So it's crazy. So, for example, I run my servers at Amazon. The servers use SSD, which means that if somebody wants to spy on my data, the NSA will just say, well, we'll just take the SSD from the Amazon drives and we'll take it away. Good luck. Because I do not trust Amazon. My data is encrypted before it gets to Amazon. I never store real data on Amazon. It's all encrypted, even in the database. So if they get the SSD, I'm going to say, zuck you, mother zuckers. You're dressing up as a Raspberry Pi. That's pretty square or rectangular. Here, are you going to dress like this, Doug? Going to dress like that with horns? Raspberry Pi? So anyway, we were talking about Ring, and I forgot it again. So Ring is being advertised as something that the law enforcement should push everyone to have. Ring, by the way, is an Amazon company. Ring is an Amazon company. So what was the point of Ring? So Ring is a door cameras. They want to put cameras on everyone's doors, and they want the police to promote this. Everyone put a Ring camera on your door. Don't sucking go for that, people. So what they didn't tell you was that that Amazon has an arrangement with the police that the police can have access to all the camera views that are offered by Ring. So it goes to the Amazon database, and the police can look up Ring. So if you put a Ring camera on your door, you're part of the government surveillance system. So basically, if your neighbors have Ring, as you go jogging around the block, someone in a 3-letter agency, a law enforcement agency, or worse yet, a private contractor can look up the database at Amazon and say, oh, we see that Rob's jogging at this time of day, so we know his schedule. He jogs around this time. I can't jog, by the way, so I can no longer jog. I have enough surgeries on my foot that I can't do that anymore. So I'll never ever jog in my life again. But can you imagine me walking around the neighborhood and these cameras are looking at me? And it just bugs the hell out of me that they would do that. So, no, do not ever buy a Ring camera. That's another part of the surveillance system. Use a camera that you control where the data is yours. This stores the data in your hard drive. And the hard drive is, the flash drive is right in here. Okay? Don't rely on somebody else's data. Use yours. Not stored where somebody is going to share them with anyone else. So you are not alone. It bugs me too. Well, I feel really, really alone. I think that for the most part, most people don't care. And it's really, really bothersome. So anyway, do not, street cameras are okay. Private property is not okay. It's being promoted as such. Can you imagine that? And I'm not okay with street cameras in the sense that it is not the police using the street cameras. Not the police. So I repeated the story endless times here. Endless times I've repeated the story. Here in Los Angeles, there are many surveillance cameras in many intersections here in LA. And those, if you have a moving violation, they actually send you a ticket using facial recognition. Somebody was actually questioning me on that. No, don't question me the fact that they use facial recognition, because a family member got a ticket with facial recognition. So this is confirmed. Confirmed. Facial recognition. Okay? Confirmed facial recognition that went to the contractor. The contractor's the one giving you the ticket, and then it's under the approval of the court, and if you don't challenge it, then it goes. There's no police guy there. The police are not involved with looking at these cameras, and this data is being shared to other third parties, which really bugged the hell out of me. Okay? No one puts any restriction on the data that shows up in these cameras and who has access to that. There is no zucking rule. There's no consent requirements. They are sharing that data with Palantir and all these third parties, and they're using it to do pre-crime here in LA. And I'm sure they're doing equivalent things in other cities. But it was in the press that they were using it for pre-crime with these cameras. They're actually tracking people on surveillance cameras, because there's in LA, there's a camera in the freeway, camera in the streets, camera in many street corners. DMV is supplying the data to the third-party contractor. That's what they use for facial recognition. I don't know what Kelps looks like. Pre-crime in crime-ridden areas. They aren't doing this to the Amish. Kelp, what is crime to you? Pre-crime, what does that mean to you? So if you disagree with the government, does that count as pre-crime? Mecca's Queen, not correct. They're sharing it with private contractors. So, are you not distressed by all this? And I told you about the playback, the internet playback. Internet playback. They said, okay, Michelle, let's play back your session from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday. We're going to go play it back. And if you don't have encryption, you're zucked. They can't play this back. They can't play back a Tor router. No, can't do that. As Snowden showed. So this is the kind of stuff that, it's like, if you're not, if you haven't committed a crime, why do I need to worry about somebody surveilling me? Why do I need to worry about that? Why do I need to worry about being surveilled when I did not commit a crime? Kelp says I deserve it. He didn't say it, he applies it. You're leaving now? Why are you leaving? Great goal is making that clear. Internet activities can be played be played back on unencrypted platforms or Great Gold on public platforms, even though you have HTTPS and Periscope, because it's public, they can all look at it. They don't surveil just anyone. Kelp apparently does not want to read the book. Kelp just, as much as I throw the information at Kelp, he comes around and says, well, they don't just surveil anyone. I wouldn't be concerned about that if that were true, Kelp. If they weren't surveilling everyone else, and they only surveil the bad guy, then what do I have to complain about? But apparently Kelp is so misguided, he has he believes the fake news, and the fake news is, and this is true, the fake news has been given to us that the government does not do mass surveillance. The fake news has been given by Bush, by Obama, and now Trump. Do you trust any president? I fucking don't. Some of you support Obama, some of you support Trump, some of you supported Bush. I don't trust any of them because see what happened here? What happened was they get into power and they say, ooh, wow, I get all this capability. I can spy on everyone. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Who's the scalp? Is that guy who keeps talking there? So 9/11. So we got to go track every single American. Why don't you track the rest of the world? Why is it? Why are you tracking Americans? Could you explain that to me? If you're concerned about 9/11, shouldn't you be tracking every single Chinese and every single Middle Eastern person and every, why don't you track every single North Korean? Why don't you track them? Why don't you track them? So why is it that the billions of dollars spent on tracking is spent tracking Americans? Could you explain that to me? Because they're saying, oh, Snowden lied. They're not really tracking Americans. You actually believe that? X-key score. Okay? So Kelp says, oh, they don't surveil everyone. That is just the idiocy of the comment from Kelp. They don't surveil everyone. Didn't I just tell you, Kelp, X-key score can play back your zucking internet sessions in the book, in the movie, and in all the releases from the press? It's on Wikipedia. X-key score, and he says, well, they don't really surveil everyone. If they don't surveil everyone, then what the zuck do they have X-key score for, which can track every single email, every single thing you do on the internet that's not encrypted? And Kelp says they don't really care about the innocents. Oh, so wait a minute, Kelp. That's what they told you, right? So you're finally agreeing that they are collecting everything. I just want to make sure that's clear, Kelp. Kelp, do you not agree that they collect everything? We got to start someplace. Do we not agree, Kelp, that they're collecting everything? Then you can get to the second argument if they're using it against you. But do we not agree that they're collecting everything? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, regardless of what Kelp says, the answer is yes, they're collecting everything. It's called bulk collection. Bulk collection. They're doing that. That's why they can play back everyone's internet. So, there's a constitutional amendment that says, hey, we have a right to protect ourselves for not iPhones can't penetrate them. Did I just hear that right? He just said can't penetrate an iPhone. This Joey Balls has the balls to actually lie to you and say you can't penetrate an iPhone. Okay, so anyway, back to what I'm saying. So the fact of the matter is, if they're using bulk collection, the question is why? Why are you doing bulk collection, government? Why? Oh, because they're going to come up with some excuse. Well, you never know. Kelp might be a criminal someday. So we need to try Kelp. Kelp might be a bad guy someday. Maybe we want to blackmail Kelp, because, he has some secret information and we'll blackmail him and say, look at all you've done in porn, Kelp. Look at what you've done, Kelp. Well, Kelp, this is why there's a Fourth Amendment, which you said Kelp wants us to suspend the Fourth Amendment. Apparently, I didn't know this, but Kelp is a constitutional scholar. He actually said that the times have changed and we need to get rid of the Fourth Amendment. Okay, which means power can be abused. This is the whole purpose of the Fourth Amendment. Is the crafters of the Constitution made sure, and I'm an American, and I believe in the Constitution, and the Constitution made it hard for people to be abused by government. And one of the ways they did it so that they can't be abused is by putting things like the Fourth Amendment to prevent people to use their power to overpower us and say, well, we can go, blackmail you with information that we have in mass surveillance. And Kelp apparently is a constitutional scholar. Kelp is a constitutional scholar. He actually think, we should suspend the Fourth Amendment. Okay, and most of us agree with the Patriot Act because your senators agreed that, we don't need a Fourth Amendment. Who cares about that? So if the government wants to collect data on you and do ring cameras and have backdoors to your phone, you'd have nothing to say about it because, this is a dictatorship. This is a dictatorship. U.S. IP address is not allowed to. Here we go again with this Joey Balls. Why don't you talk on YouTube, Joey Balls, so people can see what you're saying and it gets posted on the video like that? Okay, so because you are out of whack. Okay, so for those of you like Joey Balls who said that you can't hack an iPhone, then you need to watch my video on YouTube, which is 4 backdoors to your phone. 4 zucking backdoors, and it doesn't matter if you have an iPhone, an Android, or a Librem 5. All phones, including your flip phone, can be hacked with those 4 backdoors. There's no zucking other way around it. The only way that Librem 5 cannot be hacked is when you turn off the zucking switch. That is the only time that that a phone cannot be hacked. Other than that, good luck. 4 zucking backdoors. I am so mad that I'm carrying a phone that the government can just turn on anytime they want. So not only can they go watch my traffic on the internet and say, let me do a playback. Second, then they say, let me go, turn on your phone so I can listen to what you're saying in your house. Not counting all the CIA hacks like turning on the microphone on your smart TV. Kind of exactly like in the 1984 book. My cameras are blacked out, so are mine. My cameras are also taped. This here, down here is the broadcast is being handled by a laptop here with tape on it. So Mark Gabello. How are you, Mark Gabello? R. Johns, my understanding you still not 100% safe. Israel can hack your phone. It's the other countries that collect data on you. Some of these comments are like, if you get a VPN, are you protected from all sites being able to detect you on? Are you protected from all sites? Well, the VPN is not government protection. If you want protection from the government, you need Tor router. Now this is a VPN and Tor router. So if you want protection from government, only at the Tor router side will be. VPN is to protect you from Facebook and Google and all these tracking you and taking your data. So for government level intrusion, you got to use Tor. So you got to be selective. You say, okay, this one I don't want him. I don't want them to play this back. Now it's very difficult even to overcome a VPN, but it's certainly possible because they can insert little spy devices along the route, but they can't do that on Tor. So with some effort, a government agency could spy on a VPN with a lot of effort. They could do it on active surveillance. They're not going to do it on passive surveillance, meaning they're not going to do it on playback of X key score. Okay, so this is way better than the Zuckspiracy channels. Don't log into your accounts on Tor. Yes. Yeah. Can you imagine? You go on Facebook and you say, I'm on Tor. I'm going to log into Facebook now. You just announced yourself. If you go on Facebook, then you just said, this is my real identity. So, yes, do not log into Facebook. Do not log into any account that has your real information if you're using Tor. That's not going to help. Okay, Phantom is actually smart there. So, smartphones dog whistle to smart TVs. Oh, gosh. Okay. How would you remove Intel management agent? Phantom Foreskin, I am lucky enough to get a model. I checked the model to make sure that my model does not have IME AMT vPro on it. So my computers for the last 3 years have no IME. My Mac has IME. I hardly ever use it now. And so that's how I've handled that. So most of my new computers do not have IME chip at all. So you have to specifically search for that on the Intel website, which chip model. So when you look at a computer, you got to see if it has IME on it. Otherwise, they're going to spy on you and control your computer. So, I try to harden my environment here because I don't want the playback. Michelle, safe for you to talk on Brax, okay? That's where you should go instead of all these dangerous environments that we, talk in. Okay, what did I miss here? Okay, it's I'm tipsy. The 11 Pro Max Plus is not supposed to be because the battery lasts 4 hours longer. It is not supposed to be because the battery lasts 4 hours longer. Okay, I don't know what that means, but let me just confirm for you, people, that yes, it doesn't matter if you have an iPhone or Android, there are 4 backdoors by government agencies. 4. There could be more. The 4 is what we know. We know 4. Okay, we know 4. Are there more than 4? Probably, but we know 4. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just gonna tell you facts. Kelp, you actually watching things on Librum 5. Am I to believe that you actually watched that, and then you still come up with fake news even after that? Okay. Well, they said they were going to delay in March. I mean, there's a YouTube video that says shipping. So and they said, oh, I guess it's going to be part 2 has been released. What are you talking about? Nightbot for middle box tutorial. So you are saying to be completely safe, we need both Tor and VPN. Archons, for most uses, the VPN is enough. It depends on who the opposition is. If I'm trying to protect myself at the government level, for example, I don't like, if I search for material relating to three-letter agencies, on the internet. I don't want to do that on even on a VPN because it brings out a red flag. So those kinds of searches I'm going to do on a VPN. For most things, we're actually defending ourselves against private companies, in which case a VPN is fine, and a VPN is much faster, so that 99% of what you need to protect are usually protected by the VPN. On occasion, you're going to say, well, I need to research some, more deeper topic, and I got to think about it and say, is this one of the, for example, do not research ISIS, things like that. You don't research ISIS and there are keywords, because then it puts you in the crosshairs. It doesn't matter. You have nothing to do with ISIS. I don't want to be on any list. But you get on the list, and then someday you get stopped at the border because you got on the list. Somebody actually here, just to give you an example. Come on, Kelp. You don't think I know what you're talking about? You are Mr. Fake News #1. So somebody, what am I talking about? We're talking about, let's say crossing the border, and then they can look you up and say, oh, look what you said over here. Yes, Kelp, fake news, because, you say, well, there's a problem in March, and therefore it's been delayed when it's already been released. Where's the news in there, Kelp? When it's already been released as promised, and you're like saying, oh, it's not going to be released. Well, that's, true fake news. That's true fake news. So Kelp is saying that there's a problem in March, and yet the news currently is they're already shipping as stated. They are shipping now, and then Kelp says, oh, fake news. Fake news. Government says we can't trade Bitcoin from any company out of the U.S. Can they catch us if we use a VPN? Joey Balls, yes, because they can track you by the money. There is so what are you saying, Kelp? Are you saying that they did not release? Is that a lie? It's just so. You're just so persistent, Kelp. I mean, it's already been released. Oh, it's can't be released because there's a battery problem. Yes, actually, there is a battery problem. It's an overheating problem, not a battery problem. They have an overheating situation, and it didn't stop it from being released. They released it anyway. You are fake news, Kelp. You just proved it again and again. You said it got delayed, so you are like, fake news. It's like it's been released. Do they have some problems? Oh, yeah, I'm sure there are problems. But, we all know that. I want to have one. I don't care if it overheats. I don't care anything about that. I'll take it, and then I'll fix it later. It doesn't matter to me. Because I don't have a choice right now. What the zuck can I use right now? Does anyone know of a phone you can use that's safe? There is no zucking. There is no zucking phone that is an alternative. What can I use? I just told you. You can hack 4 back doors to this. There's no zucking switch. So I don't have any choice. So if you're gonna say, what kind of phone can I use? Well, do I have anything else? So, we need to all buy Librem 5s once let me review it first. And then, we all need to buy one because I don't know what else to use. Pine Phone, but Pine Phone is still in development. Thank you, Michelle. So Pine Phone is still in development, so it's, we don't have a choice. Maybe, next year, a year from now. Yeah. So Kelp says there should be no phone that is impenetrable. So Kelp says every device we should have is a spy device. Kelp says we should have spy devices. Please let us make a special request to the 3-letter agencies. Please put cameras in every room in Kelp's house. Please put microphones in every room in Kelp's house. Please please put external cameras. Please put every kind of camera on the electric pole outside, keeping an eye on where Kelp goes. Please put little sensors in his car so we can track him all around. Please do this because Kelp loves this. Kelp loves this. He loves the spying. He thinks it's well, good. Then you can keep him. Now, for me, Kelp, don't want it, so take it back. Tweet this babe. Hello, tweet this babe. Bybit is new. The problem is I'm not worth watching. I follow the law. I'm not worth watching either, Kelp. But why do they follow me? I follow the law too. Didn't even get any traffic ticket. Get nothing. IRS audits, no problem. Come on, IRS, no problem. I'm about as clean as you can get, Kelp. Why am I being spied on? Could you just explain that to me, Kelp? Why should someone like me, who's about as clean as you can get, why do I need to get spied on? Why do I need to get spied on, Kelp? Tweet this, babe. No, all of you get spied on by the Zucking government. No, Kelp. You said that the waste of time talking with Kelp. He said that there's a delay because of a battery problem when there is no delay. It was shipped. And says I wasn't. Okay, it's kind of a pointless discussion here. We're occupying our time in Kelp, and let's talk about other issues. Okay, let's talk about other issues because Kelp would just keep going through the same loop. It's like a recording. Yes, I keep getting hacked almost every day. So tweet this, babe, as my video shows. All of your phones have a back door, and there's no way to get around it unless you have a phone that has a hardware switch, in which case you can keep yourself from being hacked when the switch is off. There's only one phone with that design, and that is a Librem 5 that is available, and the other one is a Pine phone, which is not yet available. Not yet available. So I'm waiting, and if one of these Linux phones get to be available, I'm going to be buying every one of them and hopefully get rid of all the iPhones in this house. Yes, I want to get rid of this iPhone, Joey. You want to buy it? I paid $1,300 for this mother Zucker. $1,300 for this. You guys now Kelp, so I don't know what Kelp is, Michelle. Kelp is just Kelp. Kelp believes in the yes, Librem 5. Yes, this is not a Librem 5. So yes, I'm looking forward to my Librem 5 someday. Someday I'll get a Librem 5, but right now I'm waiting. Takes a long time to get one. So someday I'll get the Librem 5. I've been promoting the Librem 5 a lot. Hello, Rita. I have a 8 Plus and just bought 11 Max Plus. Unlucky you, Joey. Have fun with that. Have fun with your spy device, which has no benefit compared to my iPhone 10. And they can't even do anything new on an iPhone, so they just have you spend more money. And you could have just gotten a... look how nice this iPhone 10 is. And I paid $1,300 for this, and now you can apparently buy one of these for 600 some bucks. Where do I get Librem 5? Well, unfortunately, you can buy them from Purism and wait for a very long time. Randy, how are you doing, my friend? It's not gonna fail. It's not gonna fail, Randy, because there's people are finally realizing that there's no option. I don't think a Linux phone is going to fail. It would fail before. But given what we know now, I don't have any alternative here. By the way, uh, I asked Randy this, and he didn't answer me on YouTube. But I asked Randy if in Saudi Arabia, if the uh, Reda is like acting like um, what's his name? Ron Waxman. Reda is acting like Ron Waxman. The only problem, Reda, is that's YouTube, and I mean that's Periscope. I don't really care about Periscope. So anyway, going back so I forgot what I'm saying now. I got distracted. And I forgot what I was talking about. Uh, Zoc. See, that's the problem. So I pay attention to Periscope, and then I get zocked. Okay, so what is the source code for the firmware that was promised? Where is the source code for the firmware that was promised for the Librem 5? Which source code are you talking about? The firmware in the Librem 5, I believe, is built into the NXP chip. So the firmware is in the NXP chip itself. Okay, Randy, what's Saudi Arabia? Okay, so in one of the hacks that I talked about on my video, one of the hacks was that they can use Stingray on the phone. Stingray, as some of you may already know, is when the government says they want to listen to you, so they put a fake cell tower in a car next to you or near you, and they have this device called Stingray, and then they can then hijack your phone using a man-in-the-middle attack, and it will act as your cell tower, and then they can listen to everything that you do on your phone. So in Saudi Arabia, you do not need Stingray, I would guess. Randy can confirm that you do not need Stingray in Saudi Arabia because they probably say no encryption at the phone level. There you go. We recorded operator level. Exactly. So since there's no encryption in Saudi Arabia, there's no need for Stingray. The government can just listen in at will. You see and we just, we take this for granted, and we don't complain, and we think we're safe in the U.S. because, we're not like Saudi Arabia. Our phone calls are encrypted. Suck that. You think they're encrypted. They make you think it is, but it's not, because they can use Stingray to decrypt it. And you're saying, well, they can't do that. You can't decrypt it with Stingray. Even with encryption, the app creators give us the key. Yes, Randy, I can presume, which is why, I have to make sure that nobody's asked me for a key in Saudi Arabia. So if I get asked, I believe it was France. France asked for a key to any app that has encryption for France. My response to that, people, is I took away my app from France. So my app was not in France. And then years later, they took out the rules, so I made it available to France. Okay, there is no secure communications. Well, there is if you're, because they haven't stopped Brax.me yet. And besides, it's a website. You can't block it. Okay, so let me just try to answer these questions on YouTube here. Ditadura. Okay, have a way to use a Raspberry Pi with Tor routing, a PC with VPN, and with virtual machine that the machine will have no recapture problems. Phantom Foreskin PF Sense is outdated Tor version. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have the Tor router. There it is. It's called Brax Wi-Fi, available at rob.brax.me. Tor router, VPN router. So I don't know what that question is, but let me see. They have a version of everyone's voice. They have voice printing. That's correct. It's called voice print. They have that. That was revealed by Snowden as well. Samsung Repair said my phone is running the most current version of Android OS, but I'm still getting enhanced Google search results even not signed in. Yeah, that's done at the server side. That's nothing to do with your phone, Aaron. That's done at the server. How? And you're gonna say, well, how do they know it's me, even if I'm not signed in? Okay, Aaron, please be serious. It's called browser fingerprinting. Okay, browser fingerprinting, Aaron. So you do not have to sign in. They can track you and know who you are without signing in. Then they can connect the identities later. Okay, hold on. Let me just read some of these comments. What do I miss here? Guitar Roy. Oh my gosh, I miss Guitar Roy. I've been talking and miss Guitar Roy. How are you, my friend? To leave the smartphone at home, bring a dumb phone when you leave the house. Yes. Javal, where's the sort? Okay. Okay. Did I miss anything else here? I don't want to miss anything. Okay. So it doesn't look like I missed anything else, even though Redamore was complaining that I missed stuff on Periscope. So anyway, okay. So I have a video on what the best browser is. Watch the video. Good night, R. Johns. Okay, so yeah, it's a crazy world out there, and even Tor leaks in the media like Snowden are designed for you to look the other way while other things happen. Leaks in the media like Snowden are designed for you to look the other way while other things happen. Okay, Randy, I'll what leaks? I mean, I'm curious. What, like, give me an example. But you're saying, the usual disinformation. All my Google search results are limited to 180 pages, all malicious fake sites. Misinformation is the tool of the day. Agreed, Randy. That's why we have to use the same. But you support in unencrypted talk in, because that's how you make money in other countries. And, I'd rather not give him any information at all, so that I'm at liberty to give out whatever disinformation I want. Okay? Even after a factory reset. What is a factory reset going to do when you do browser fingerprinting? Aaron? Do you know how browser fingerprinting works? I got several videos on that. You can you can reset everything you want. It's still going to give you a browser fingerprint. Even Tor is browser fingerprinted. Encryption isn't a big deal these days at government levels. Well, that's part of the problem because they're looking at metadata. But it's not true because, there's, it's you're assuming that there's nothing. First of all, especially for somebody like me, I mean, I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I don't really have anything to fear about, doing anything, illegal or anything like that, since I don't do anything illegal. I just don't like to be spied on, so I'm going to use encryption. So sorry, Randy. I mean, much as you're saying the government doesn't care about the encryption. Well, I want to deny them both the data and the metadata. Data and the metadata. I want to just deny them everything because it's my right. So, I don't need to care if the government is collecting it, not because they are collecting it. But you're going to say to me that, oh, I don't need to think about it because they don't really care about the fact that you encrypt or not. Well, that's not true. I mean, they're collecting the information. So you're saying, well, they're not going to use it. Well, I don't really need to give them the ammunition to use something. Okay? In my case, my communications could be as simple as passwords and keys to secure things that I do. And that, to me, is important enough because it affects other people. You're not a law-abiding citizen. Well, you just made yourself a target. You'll use the lower market share OS, so easier to pick out. How do I get standard Google search results? Um get a different device. Get a different device. I noticed there will always be a story in MSM. Okay, I'm dying. Very rarely would anyone on the planet get a complete investigation, as cost factor is crazy. They don't need to do a complete investigation, Randy. Come on. I mean, if your entire database is on the Utah database, how much work is involved? Saudi Arabia does not have a Utah data center. Well, the Utah data center has a Utah data center, and they're going to have four of that. So they have one now and three to go. The data is massive. Yes, I know the data is massive, but I'm going to search for Randy Horton's traffic. That's not massive. We're not going to search for everyone else. We're going to search for Randy Horton's traffic. Play it back. X key score. Play back. What did Randy do at 10 p.m. Pacific time on the internet? Playback. Sorry. I don't need to give him that information. Just don't feel like I need to do that. So some of you feel like, well, I don't need to worry about that. It's okay. I don't have any fear of the government. The largest data center is here in partnership with Go. You're saying that there's a data center that's larger than the Utah data center? The one that they're going to build 3 more of? It's larger than that? Well, I guess it's possible. They built it last year. You mean Google's building it? Blackmail you, making you look like a criminal. Yes, Starlight. My favorite song is playing. Horse sense is still used. No knock warrants haven't. Here we are again. Okay, so Michael. Maybe Rob worries too much. Okay, Michael. Let's not worry. Let's not worry. Let's put someone else in power that has access to all that data. Let's stick to the U.S. Let's go back in time. During the Nixon administration. That's the U.S., right? I'm not even going to leave the U.S. here. Okay, Nixon said, I want to identify all gay people. He said this to J. Edgar Hoover. I want to make a list of all gays so that I can prevent them from working in the government. Michael says, I worry too much. Well, that information now is available so that, if Nixon were around today, he would say, yeah, go churn those databases. I want to find every gay person and use that as a condition for employment in the U.S. government. Okay? So Michael said that's I worry about that too much. Okay, so it doesn't require any special effort now to do it because all they do is say, it's so easy on social media to find out if you're gay because you're going to make a statement that you're gay or you're going to be in Grindr with your IP address. But we say, well, we don't care. We don't care about that. We want to stop. The FBI just recently. This is recent. The FBI said that they're targeting people who talk about certain topics and say that they instigate violent behavior, and these topics are QAnon, New World Order, a couple of things along those lines. That if you, I think Agenda 21, so if you're one of those that talks about these few things, then the FBI has now targeted you. Michael said, I worry too much. Can't happen today. Now, Michael, just so you understand my experience here, I lived in a dictatorship. I lived I lived in a country with a dictatorship, and if we spoke against the government, we would go to sucking jail or disappear or die. This is not theory. I know it. I've experienced it in real life. I do not ever want that kind of situation. Fortunately, back then there was no sucking internet. No Camaro, Jeff. It doesn't matter. Oh, you mean iOS 13? Yes, iOS 13 is zucked up. Correct, Michelle. That is correct. And you know, it's part of our Constitution that we're free to do anything. And I don't really think that it's worrying too much when someone can use this information against us. Okay? I don't want this information used against us. Cambodian? I'm not Cambodian. So, like left-handers not allowed to buy scissors anymore. Hoover had a blacklist. Free to do anything. Go to bed. Go to bed, Kelp. You're just lost. You're just lost. It depends. Dark egress. I actually have a theory on that. I have a theory that the CIA is liberal and the NSA is conservative. That's my theory. That's my theory. And it has to do with the which president set them up. Because the CIA was a minor thing before the Bush administration. Obama was the one who expanded the CIA. So the CIA is pro-Obama. The NSA was around and promoted heavily by Bush. So, and they get a lot of funding then. So then it's more conservative. That's just a guess. And you're happy about that, Randy. You're telling me about all these, this huge database, huge surveillance database is being built around the world, and we react and say, "Oh, Rob here is worrying too much. We don't really need to worry about these big, massive databases." Saudi Arabia is a free country. They don't kill. They don't kill people who go against their beliefs. They don't do that. Saudi Arabia doesn't, if you go against the government of Saudi Arabia, they're not going to go murder you. They're not going to do something like that. So we don't need to worry about the fact that they're building a $1 billion. By the way, Randy, the Utah data center was $4 billion. So, in old dollars, since it was built some time ago. So in old dollars, so it's probably more than $4 billion now if you rebuilt the same thing. So. Where's the consistency here, Randy? When you're saying, hey, they're building all these facilities, and we don't really mind that they collect all this data and put more control in the hands of government so they can control the little people. Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm for the little people. That's the thing. Now you know where I stand. I'm for the little people. I do not like big governments because I've experienced it, being able to control us and not allowing us free thought and free expression. I don't like this big giant databases. Whatever you want to believe in, you can believe in. I don't, you can be left or right. I don't care if you're in the left or right as long as you have a right to say it. I don't believe you have a right to tell somebody to shut up. That's me. I want the little people to have the ability to speak out. I don't want the little people to be shut down and told to shut up like I am often, Zuck doesn't want me to say whatever I want to say here, so he puts a watcher over here in my broadcasts. Hasn't seen a watcher lately, but he's put a watcher in my broadcast, so I don't, so they watch if I say anything against Zuck. It's a free expression. I should be able to say what I want to say, because I'm just telling the truth. So, and that's I don't like the fact that organizations are collecting this data for whatever reason, and you know what? You can collect all the data you want. I will find every zucking way I can to prevent you from collecting my data. Use my devices, people. My Tor and VPN router. Prevent them from collecting your data. Prevent them from collecting your data. That's me. That's what I believe in. Randy, you're like, no wonder Kelp likes you. No wonder Kelp like you, Randy. You're like, you're really taking the side of the governments, Randy. I know that's your line of work, but you really take the side of the governments. You don't believe in the little people. So Randy, I was told that they're putting, they've actually put a massive amount of cameras in Manila now. They have they want to turn Manila into a surveillance city as well. They're like putting cameras everywhere. So with facial recognition, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. You always just go to Cebu and you just skip the Manila stuff. Well, I was just told about that, and it was like, yeah, can you imagine back in the days of Marcos if Marcos had surveillance cameras with microphones? My gosh. Can you imagine? And back in the day, it's so difficult to move around even then. And it was so scary because if you say anything, you're so scared of what to say and do because there's always somebody watching. There's so many spies. And to think that would now be easy because it's now electronic. So it's crazy. So, Kelp has no reasoning. To him, it's like, oh, it's all equal. Well, he believes the whatever the government says. The government says this is what we need. Saudi Arabia desires the ability to protect its citizens by spying on every citizen. That is what Saudi Arabia believes. So, okay, I guess that's the truth. China says it needs to spy on every individual because it's their right and it will protect everyone. Oh, great! Let's spy on everyone then. The UK says the same thing. Australia wants to beat the UK at the spying level. The NSA just had a little document just recently that says, the money that we've been spending on surveillance is not enough. We need to grow it more. We need, as they said, they didn't say we need more money. They said we need more resources. This is the NSA saying we need more resources. Wow. Okay. So I just want to make clear where I stand. You don't have to stand where I stand. I just want to make it clear where I stand. So I do not ever want to live in the society that I've already lived in. And some of you are really forgetting about, history. Some of you are forgetting about history and what, somebody's mentioned Cambodia. So in Cambodia, they said, okay, we'll find out anyone who's educated and kill you all. So they took anyone who was educated and decided to kill them all. Government said, okay, we'll kill all educated people, so we only have farmers. And, today they can probably automate that and say, okay, we'll just send you medicine to kill yourself in the mail. Don't have to exert so much energy to do that. will just, spy on your social media, identify that you're educated, and then kill you all that way. Yep. So, oh yeah, I just mentioned. So, certain words like New World Order is a keyword for the FBI. Agenda 21, QAnon, all of these are all keywords, negative keywords. They put you on a Zucking watch list. They put you on a Zucking watch list by mentioning these words. Go keep saying them. Then, they put you on a Zucking watch list. And then you're going to say, ooh, this is great. Yeah, would Mao have liked having an internet? We don't need to go even back to Hitler. Okay, because someone will say, well, don't go back that far, Okay, we'll skip Hitler. Just keep going, Idi Amin. What? Pick one. Doesn't matter who it is. Oh, how about Venezuela? Okay. So they can find out whoever they want to find anything about, and they can find it on social media and go, get rid of opposition. Do you need to go back to, fortunately, the country like Cuba don't have much of an internet. So, I mean, goodness, people, it's like, I don't understand this. I really don't. If you're thinking you want to live in a 1984 world and this is cool to you, well, okay, then we disagree. We disagree. So Kelp believes that modern you and I is now the big business of the world. Randy, I will fight to my last breath. So you're in that business, Randy, but I will fight to my last breath to make sure that does not happen to me or to anyone I know. To my last breath, I will do everything to fight that. Whether or not you say that that is the business of the world to spy on us, my business is to stop it. Oh, so Kelp says that I need to give up and we need to be spied on because Kelp Zucking said so. Kelp says we should accept spying and surveilling because it's the modern world. We want to live in a dictatorship for the rest of our lives. And Kelp says, oh, we don't believe in any more freedoms. There is no sense to you have any freedom because it's a surveillance world and we need to accept it. Wow. It's very sad. It's sad to listen to all this. It's really sad. I'm intensely saddened by what I'm hearing here because it's like saying, let's give up. Give up. Let's give up. Fake name. Why don't you go talk to these people on Periscope here? Apparently the people on Periscope said, "Oh, we love the spying stuff." So people on Periscope saying, "Yeah, it's spying. Oh, number one, awesome stuff. Let's keep doing it. Big money to be made on it. Palantir, Jigsaw, big bucks, big giant databases, mercenary firms. Palantir probably has a contract with Saudi Arabia now. Okay, perfect. Love it. We want to be part of the intelligence community because we make big bucks. Let's hook up every camera to Ring, so then the surveillance can go to 3-letter agencies, and this is perfect. Randy said that it's good to think we can stop it, but makes us feel good to think we can stop it. Awesome. It's helpless now. You're helpless. We're done. We're done. Apparently, we have no more choices. Well, you know what? I'm John Connor. Join the resistance right here. The resistance, okay? I'm the resistance. Join John Connor. We are the resistance. Yeah, YouTube will probably stop me from getting any followers, but that's what it is. Whatever the reality is for you, Randy, is not the reality for me. So we have different realities here. So that is not my reality. So my reality is I know what I can stop them from getting. I know what I can't stop them from getting. Okay? So, whether most of you don't care. Most of you don't care. So for those of you who don't care, you don't have to do anything. For those of you who care, you make the moves to protect yourself and just deprive them of things like X key score. Deprive them of things like X key score. I am not Garrix. I just made a clear statement to you about my appreciation of previous and current presidents. I named them all, in case you're wondering. I expressed my displeasure at every president that's ever existed since 9/11. Because they want to turn this country into a dictatorship. They want to cancel the Constitution. And people are saying, oh, we need to accept that. It's the way it is. Kelp says it's the way it is. It's a modern world. We need to be spied on. We are in a surveillance society and we need to be spied on. It is fantastic. Fantastic. This is great stuff. Great stuff. And we need to believe in it because it's what it is. And Randy says, as much as we think we have a ways around it, we don't. Of course, there's a way around it. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy. But then there's many oppositions. It's not just the government. I mean, everyone's up against us. Your phone is being hit from all sides. Private parties, hackers, governments. Everyone wants to get your information from this. Everyone. Everyone. It's not just even the government. I don't like the fact that government misuses the data because it's about the Fourth Amendment, at least in this country. Don't care what you do in Saudi Arabia. Don't care what you do in China. It's not my country. In my country, it's in the Constitution. So I get upset. I get upset when they get around the Constitution and say, oh, we can skip the Fourth Amendment. We'll just collect all your data. And then it's not subject to the Fourth Amendment anyway because it's not going to be presented in court. We're just going to spy on you on the side. So it's not going to be presented in court. We can all unplug there and walk, but it's boring. Randy, all people, you are there in a environment that you're being watched like crazy. And you're telling me you actually like it. I mean, you're in an environment where they kill you if you disagree. Well, I'm not going to disagree. Oh, okay, because I'm making money from 'em. Okay. So you're saying this is acceptable. Well, of course, that is your job, so I can't really fault you for taking a side that has to do with your income. Fortunately, I'm not tied to anyone. I don't work for anyone else. I only work for myself. I only work for myself, Randy, so, I don't speak for any institution. I can say whatever I want. And I'm here for the little people. Dark Egress, there's a video about that on my channel. There's a video on my channel about that. Go watch it. It's not a clear answer. Go watch the video. Fake name, yeah, that's what he's saying. Yes. So anyway, it will be presented in court if the government asks for it. Yeah, but you see, Silog, this is one of the things they can do. Silog, okay. They can go, okay, let's search for people that we suspect that we can blackmail or do something with. Then we blackmail them. And if they say, well, you can't use that as evidence in court because, Fourth Amendment and all this. There are two ways they can handle this. And this is why This is why it's kind of crazy. Two ways they can handle this log. One is they can say, well, this is, this is national security, so, we can't publicize the information. But we'll put them in jail anyway, and then, yes, under national security reason, we can't reveal. Okay, that's one excuse. The other excuse is because they have so much knowledge about you and your inside information that they can plant information. Plant. One of the things that I already told you what they can do on the phone. They can make your phone call some Russian hackers. So they can make my phone call some Russian hackers and then say, hey, you're associated with those Russian hackers. We're going to put you in sucking jail. We have a record of your phone. Isn't that your phone, sir? Using SS7 or the SIM jacker hack. Good night, Michelle. See you in Brax. When you have SIM jacker, it can make calls for you. I mean, I don't want to have anyone with that kind of power where they can say, well, we can, manipulate the evidence because we want to get you. So if we want to get you, we can get you. Yes. And your reaction is, it's okay, you can do that. Well, my reaction is, Zuck you. My reaction is, Zuck you. I will fight to my last breath to make sure you don't get to do that. Yes, something may happen to me. It's very disturbing, so I'll be your hero. Because it disturbs me in a big way that this is all possible with this. Yes, can't be done with iPhone. It can be done with any phone. It's in my video. 4 back doors. There are 4 back doors. Data abuse even against president. Yes. And the president can use it against you too. And if it's being used against the president, why doesn't Trump go around and say, I want to dismantle this surveillance that's being used against me? Why is he not doing that? He says the surveillance was used against him, but yet he does nothing to stop the mass surveillance. We still have the Patriot Act. Everything is still here. Okay, I don't get it. The reason is when a president gets into power, they realize how much they can control, and they say, wow, I have access to the Utah data center. I can do X-key score Prism, and I can control, get information about everyone. I have that capability. Would you give that up if you were president? That's zucking. Why not? Because they have power. So that's why I don't trust any president, because they go into the position and they realize how much power they have, and they say, wow, I have all this? And then our reaction is, leave them alone. They can have all that power. We trust them. They'll take care of us. They only take care of you if it's in their benefit, for their benefit. In theory, dark egress. In theory, any president can be limited by the deep state. They can replace the deep state, but the moment they preserve the data collecting side of it, then someone can use it, including people who are long-term government employees, which is what the deep state is supposed to be. Now, for those of you who think deep state is a political statement, I believe, because deep state tends to be a term used by people on the right, but Snowden is on the left, and Snowden said there is a deep state. So the insider says there is a deep state. He says so. So yes, there is a deep state, and and they can maneuver those switches, and they can use X-key score and find out who the internet activity of their girlfriends and so on through X-key score, and you can't do anything about it. And our reaction is cool. We don't need any check and balances. It's okay. Randy says this is normal. This is governments are increasing all this in Saudi Arabia and certainly in the UK and the Five Eyes, in the United States, in Russia, in China, even countries that we don't think about: India, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore. Well, Singapore has always been kind of like that. And we say, this is all good. It's not good. What would you be the ultimate secure laptop comp? Um a Linux laptop without a IME. Get a Linux laptop without IME on it. Now, some of these newer computers do not have IME anymore. This is an HP Spectre X360. It does not have IME. Privacy concerns rising in U.S. library? No, according to Kelp and Randy, nobody cares. It's pointless. Chuck, who? I'm saddened that I'm talking here about all this, and then people are saying, "Oh, you're wasting your time." We don't need to care. It's too late. We don't need to protect ourselves and from either third parties and governments. Fake name OpenBSD on that laptop. I tend not to use BSD. I tend to use FreeBSD. I tend to use Linux. So yeah, probably Linux. But I have to use Windows still because I got to use some apps on Windows. I'm building a W530 with a Linux Mint. What is a W530? Is that what kind of computer is a W530? I don't know what that is. Who makes a W530? That's kind of a meaningless number. I have a T430, two of them, three of them. What does that number mean to you? I have three T430s. This is an X360. Use wine if you can. I still, wine doesn't work with everything. So I can test out and make sure. But you see, one of the problems, fake name is Adobe Premiere Pro. I can actually use Linux for everything if I didn't have to worry about Adobe Premiere Pro. And you're going to say, why do I need Adobe Premiere Pro? For YouTube. I'm zocked. Okay? The way to make YouTube videos is with Adobe Premiere Pro. There's nothing I can use on Linux. So I'm kind of stuck. I have to use Windows. So, ThinkPad workstation level Lenovo. Yes, Phantom Foreskin. I have ThinkPad T430s. That's my several old computers. I have several Lenovo. Hello, Shy Blues. I have several Lenovo T430s which run Linux very well. So I'm testing all my Linux stuff with there. There's got to be some FOSS you can use, not for Adobe Premiere Pro. That's actually if there's anything that stops Linux, I should make a video. What's going to stop Linux? Adobe Premiere Pro. Hello, Shy Blues. Yes. Oh, Kelp is on YouTube. Shocking. Kelp actually went to YouTube. So, yeah. That's answer the question. What will stop Linux? What can't stop Linux? Well, definitely Adobe Premiere Pro is one of them. What else? What else do I use on this computer? Probably not much. That's probably the number one. Unfortunately, that's enough right there. That's enough right there. Actually, more. I have some software for use with um, like RTL, SDR stuff and things like that are only on Windows. Some ham radio things are only on Windows. So I haven't tested them if they work with Wine. But really, the main problem is Adobe Premiere Pro. So why is he so afraid to be here on YouTube if he has nothing to hide? Who are you talking about, Kelp? KDNet, uh, KD, KDNE Live is a decent enough video editor. Mike Platt, unfortunately, decent enough isn't good enough. I got to use the most sophisticated one. And as buggy as Adobe Premiere Pro is, it's pretty advanced. For example, I can't use like OBS. It's not capable enough to do what I need to do. Adoption. This will be Linux downfall. Adoption. Is that like a game? Fake name? Is that like a Linux? Unfortunately, I can't. This is strange, but the most popular people on Linux are like gaming people. So can you imagine that the most popular people on Linux are gaming people? And it's like I don't do any gaming, so I don't really have any input on that. I'm not into gaming. So for the most part, if I didn't have to worry about Adobe Premiere Pro, I really do not need Windows. I don't even use all the software I use is open source. So I don't really use anything else. As buggy as it is, I use OpenOffice. What else? Really buggy though, but I don't really use it a lot. So for programming, I use NetBeans. That works on any platform. Just looking at my list here, I use OBS right now. OBS is running fine on Linux. All my servers are Linux. So I don't know what the downfall is. Downfall is primarily just from a desktop point of view. Adobe Premiere Pro. No, there's no answer to that until Adobe says, we're going to go shift to that. Even Brax.me runs on any platform. Brax.me will run just fine on Linux. There's no problem with Brax.me on Linux. Runs great on Linux. So, anyway. So Starlight, what other significance was that to Kelp dropping by on YouTube? I guess he needs to because I talk about him enough, because he kind of takes over the broadcast. So I guess he needs to show his name on YouTube as well. But anyway, guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's not growing today. Today's the worst. Usually it goes very fast. Today is a very bad day. I don't know why. Like, you know what it is? You know what it is why my channel sometimes has a drop in number? Anytime that somebody buys a VPN from me, the YouTube will cancel out the account because it detects the VPN from my VPN address pool, and they think it's me faking you out with fake users. So YouTube will deduct. So as many people I have on Bytes VPN, that's how many less people show up in my subscription list. So I actually have more subscribers than you think. If you made it this far in replay, please subscribe to Robert. Thank you, Great Gold. And please hit that like button, my friends. Don't be watching my videos and not hitting that like button. I mean, the algorithm needs that. More and more people using Linux, that is downfall. So technically, you should have many more subs. Starlight, technically, I should, my number should show viewers that are greater than proportionally to the number of subs, which is correct. So in theory, there should be more activity than is indicated by my subs. So anyway, we're at least we got past 3,000. Thank you, Phantom Foreskin. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Phantom Foreskin. So we appreciate that. Look at the kind of support I get. This is so appreciated. You just don't know. I don't have any support from anyone else but from you. So I appreciate it when people support the program, like Phantom Foreskin, and then Twitty supported us earlier tonight, and so appreciated. So appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we will get into other issues tomorrow. I haven't decided what the topic will be, but I do my live streams on Friday and Saturday, and then videos during the middle of the week. There's 2 new videos out there, part 1, part 2, on the backdoor for your phone. So, okay, 2 new videos. Look what happens when you do a super chat gift on YouTube. Your name stays there forever. So Kelp, maybe you want to donate. Kelp, look at that. Your name will be on there in the video for a long time if you donate. Support the cause, Kelp. Don't be all negative. Because all you do is become negative. You just argue with me all day, but you don't support the cause. Yes, while we're waiting on Librem 5 phones, again, reminding you of my products. This is a VPN and Tor router. You have the option to use it as a VPN or a Tor router, depending on what you want to do, or standard router, but you probably don't need that. So this is available at my store, rob.brax.me. Available now. We do have these. We can ship in on the next business day. This camera made here. Wide angle HD with full memory and everything. Flash drive right built into it. This is your data, not the data of Amazon. This is yours. This is very high resolution, and it comes already equipped with the PoE, or power over Ethernet, and you have the other side of this. So you get the power supply, the power over Ethernet power supply. So you get a lot. There's a lot of with from the cost of the gadgets that are inside here. There's already a lot of value in what you get in this camera, more than you get it with some of these cheapy brands that don't really have anything in there, like Blink, or even some of the Ring ones. But the Ring is a spy machine. Or don't use things like Wise. These are not, they don't have this has full storage right here. This can keep all of your videos. It's complete motion videos. And then there's the alarm. This is the radar-based alarm that you don't need to have any kind of subscription. All you need to do is leave it on your house. One of these devices, 2 of these devices can cover an entire house. And all you do is press the button.
Alarm sequence initiated now.
And it talks to you like Alexa Echo, and then you leave it. And if you get a alert on your phone, there's something going on, and you can do whatever you need to do. Call the police. And it's so simple. You don't need to go install little switches in drawers. You don't have to do anything. If anyone enters your house, that will cover an area. That's why it's so simple. Yeah, this is running right now. So this will turn, when it fires, it will turn red. This is radar. It's about to start. It's going to announce itself in a second.
Alarm is active now.
Okay, there. The alarm is now in active mode. Now, if I move, the radar will detect the movement and then fire the alarm. Okay? You got that? Who asked the question? Okay, so now you leave the house. You obviously left the house while it was still setting up. Now, anytime you enter the house,
Police alert.
now how zucking simple is that? How zucking simple is that? How are you going to shoot them in the face when you're not there? That is the simplest zucking alarm system. Okay, fake name. So this is all made here, all made in the US. We make it right here. You can hear 3D printers printing in the background, making all these. We solder this ourselves. All the circuitry here is made here. We built our little is that IoT? Yes, it's it does not, you cannot control this from the internet. So define IoT. So if you're thinking you can control this from the internet, you cannot. However, it does send a trigger out to the app. Send only. It only does it by automation. You cannot control this device from the internet. You cannot control this from the internet. You can control this only from the LAN with a password. These two devices cannot be controlled from the internet. They're immune from internet attack. Since there are no open ports, they do not show up anywhere. They have obfuscated MAC addresses. They're basically invisible. Link rob.brax.me. All of my products are rob.brax.me. So all of these, the Wi-Fi, the VPN router with optional, this is optional, and the alarm and the camera. The camera and the alarm are not yet available. They'll be available in a week. This will be available in a week. This will be available in a week, but this is backlogged. The ones we have done already sold. This is available now. Okay, so this is available, and the other two products are available as well. So if you plan on getting it for the holidays, you will be able to get it. So we just have to. We're trying to produce them as fast as we can. So, but these are all handmade. Handmade. Pretty well done, though. I mean, look at it. Okay, these are all designed and made here. Standard camera mount there, it's same that you can use with GoPro kind of equipment. Power over Ethernet. There's a separate power over Ethernet power supply that comes with it. Can the camera data be stored out of reach on a LAN storage device instead of the camera? You'd have to copy it manually, domicile. Yes, you can, but you have to copy it over. What is it just got here? You're going to have to watch the replay there. Okay, so Rob.Brax, I mean these products. If you tell me what features you want, I'm sure we can go figure it out. Also, this has an option where the videos are sent. These are videos only. This is motion videos. The high resolution videos can be sent to Brax.me app, which is the secure app. It can get the videos. So it that'll be a different service. I'm getting the videos now, so every video I get goes to my encrypted server. That is an option. You don't have to use that. So in my case, I send it to the server. The moment the bad guy try to stop the camera, then I already got the video. It's already on the remote server. Okay, so but again, I cannot control this. Yes, they do. Come here, Jeff. Go use that. I just keep talking about Brax is the cloud storage. Yes, encrypted cloud storage, Chief Tor. Yeah, Brax. It's an option. It's not. It doesn't come with it. By default, the data is kept right here inside the flash drive. Each camera has its own flash drive. So, will the VPN router work in New Zealand? Oh, yes. Why wouldn't it? Yes, the VPN router, but do not buy the VPN router from me if you're in New Zealand. Get the Raspberry Pi from New Zealand and just download the programming. There's an SD card. You can burn your own chip. That way we can save on time and expense, because it's very expensive to ship these to Australia and New Zealand. And when you can get these directly there. I don't know, Kelp. You tell me. Don't you promote Ring? Okay, here's the deal with New Zealand. It's the globalist test ground 3. Die what? Died I yipai what? The zuck are you saying there? Oh my gosh. I've gained weight. That's your claim to fame today. My face is looking fat. Okay, did I gain weight, people? Okay, so here. Okay, did I gain any weight? Did I look any bigger here? You seem so adversarial when I ask a question. Sometimes I'm serious. I don't know, Kelp. You're very consistent. All you do is act like a devil's advocate all day. So you don't really express an opinion that is other than being adversarial. You always say whatever I say, you're going to say the opposite. So you tell me if that's the case or not. I'm stripping. I'm dead, Sir Calb. What's up, Sir Calb? Remember that sloppy what? Only I can go to jail for commenting on that issue here in the Well, then you do need a Tor router. If that's the case, then you need a Tor router. Tor routers are very, very interesting because by the time you come out of the other end, you're completely anonymized. If you do whatever. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and we'll catch you with a live broadcast tomorrow. And if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that is very sad. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, the question is, why not? Why not? Because all of the videos are there. It's to stimulate conversation. You did heavy hand me on the liver question. Kelp, you said that it's fake news because because they had a power problem, but it's shipping, and you're still arguing about. But they said they're going to delay shipping because there's a power problem, but they're already shipping. So what the fuck are you talking about, Kelp? When somebody says they're shipping, they're shipping. So what are you saying? They're not shipping? Okay, can you make up your mind, Kelp? It's just weird. Okay, so anyway, you didn't ask a question. You made a comment. You made a statement that says, "Oh, they have there's a delay." Well, how can there be a delay? They already shipped. Because it's like you, Kelp, to go out there and look for all the negatives, and you're saying, "Oh, let's look for all the negatives so I can go tell Rob that, he screwed up by supporting all this Libram things." And I don't know if this Libram will will necessarily be the only answer here. But right now I don't have a choice. There's no other device I can have, so I don't really have a choice. Okay, so I back what's available now. Maybe tomorrow it'll be a different device. I'll buy them all. I'll buy them all. So if the Pine phone comes out, I'll buy it. I'll buy everything, whatever's available. Problem is, why are they not available? Hold on. Why am I? Hold on. I kind of missed the comments here. Okay. Be not me. I'm going Canada Bitcoin millions. The tax department. You really want to state that on the internet? All I have is Pepe Cash. Can't wait for Pine phone. I can't wait for Pine phone either. But I use them all. Whatever comes out. If the Pine phone is priced, I don't think it'll be the final price though. There was a development price of $149 with defects. So, I hope it's reasonably priced. In which case, then I'll buy a couple here, couple there. Okay, so so Delarge, is that your trick? You're trying to get me to get my clothes off so that you can, because you're that kind. Okay, I get it. Okay, so anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow, people, and be back here 8, normally to 10. We kind of went longer today. 8 to 10 to tomorrow, and then videos for the rest of the week. So thank you for watching, and thank you for coming over, Kelp. Thank you, Aussie Nick. Bye-bye. Good night.